The Constitutional Court of Russia recognized the treaties on the annexation of the territories of 4 Ukrainian regions not controlled by Ukraine as legal.
To recognize the international treaty that has not entered into force between the Russian Federation and the Donetsk People's Republic on the admission of the Donetsk People's Republic to the Russian Federation and the formation of a new subject within the Russian Federation as corresponding to the Constitution of the Russian Federation. From the decision of the Constitutional Court of the Russian Federation on website of the Constitutional Court of the Russian Federation.
According to the judges of the Constitutional Court, the so-called accession does not violate the Charter of the United Nations, despite the fact that it declares all UN member states are equal and sovereign. An interference with the use of force directed against the territorial integrity or political independence of a state member of the UN is not allowed. Therefore, an attempt to annex the self-proclaimed Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republics as well as parts of the Kherson and Zaporizhia regions to Russia is nothing more than an annexation.
This is a classic annexation by all indications, that is, the forcible annexation by the state of all or part of the territory of another state unilaterally. Annexation has no legal consequences from the point of view of international law. In this sense, it is useless. Russia simply continues to occupy the territory of another state. Zakhar Tropin, Associate Professor, Department of Public International Law, Institute of International Relations, Taras Shevchenko National University of Kiev, in a comment to Voice of America.
Western experts also agree with the legal failure of the so-called entry into the Federation.
From a legal point of view, this is a very simple case. It will be difficult to find another such obvious situation. Putin can say whatever he wants about the annexation, but it has no legal effect. It is an illegal occupation, an illegal sham referendum, and an illegal annexation. All this has no legal force. According to international law, a country cannot acquire territory in this way. Lee Brillmeyer, professor of international law at Yale Law School, Yale University, in a comment to Voice of America.
To deprive residents of the occupied regions of Ukraine of legal protection, to hide the war crimes of the Russian army and evade responsibility for them, these are the real legal goals of Putin's annexation, and it violates not only Ukrainian and international, but also Russian legislation. Russian lawyer Yelena Lukyanova is convinced that Putin's annexation is legally null and pathetic.
Как она может быть чтожной быть?
And how can it be non-pathetic? There is no way it can be good because of all the legal grounds and there is nothing for this. A decree appeared recognizing the independence of the Kherson and Zaporizhia regions, and then it turned out, with a reference to the pseudo-leadership of these regions, that they did not proclaim any independence at all. These are pure administrative territorial units of the foreign state of Ukraine. Therefore, all these sham acceptance have nothing legal under it.
Moscow puts forward the results of sham referendums as the only argument in support of the annexation. The Kremlin claims to be acting in the interests of the population's right to self-determination, but by voting at gunpoint, the Russian occupiers did not even pretend that the sham referendums in the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine were legal.
Помимо права на самоопределение, у нас
In addition to the right to self-determination, we also have the right to the inviolability of borders, and in relation to Ukraine, a huge number of documents signed with the Russian Federation after the collapse of the USSR on the inviolability of the territories, and first of all, Russia should be guided by these international treaties.
Neither the alleged results of the sham referendums nor the attempt to annex Ukrainian territories will affect the counteroffensive of the Ukrainian defenders. This was stated by advisor to the head of the Office of the President of Ukraine, Mikhailo Podolyak. He is sure that the war unleashed by Russia will end with the liberation of all Ukrainian territories. Reported by Sergei Kulyas, Valeria Nekipelova, UATV News.